In the next 15 seconds, you're going to see a masterclass on how you're able to use social media to get leads for your high-ticket B2B online service. Salman Yasser and I sat down and discussed the best social media for lead generation, strategies for posting, a live workshop on how to come up with content ideas, and even how to use AI, artificial intelligence, in your workflow to get more output and results from the media you create for your business. So it's going to be a complete masterclass if you're selling stuff online. I hope you enjoy.
Yes, my name is Shaz, Mathew. Brief story. Born in Chicago, still live there. So I'm a USA guy, big city guys right here. So I can really relate. But yeah, I run attractai.io. The whole purpose of that is we help people build a brand on social media. So people, companies, whatever, build brands on social media, leveraging AI to build a brand and then to get inbound leads. So those are the two things that we're really optimizing for. And we're specifically big on YouTube. I think YouTube's changed trajectory of your life, maybe business. For me, it changed my life for sure, and an extension of my business. And that's sort of the route that we're taking.
Awesome. So you said YouTube is your main focus.
Yes.
What does that mean? Like, let's say I'm a random business owner, right?
Sure.
How could you even help me?
Sure. So the first thing that we do is we really work backwards. So the main focus of YouTube, in my opinion, is just distribution. It's just a way to get yourself out there like any other marketing channel would be. We just see that per input, you get the most amount of output and the most amount of options. So that I'll get into later, but a business owner, how we would help them. First, we sort of evaluate their situation and their offer. Very hard to help someone that doesn't have like a semi-standardized process and offer of who they serve, who they help, the results they've gotten. So that's the first thing, is niching down. And the company's niche, we sort of explore the pain that they're facing and the reason that they're hiring that company. And then we take those pain points and we flip them into videos. And essentially the way I explain YouTube to business owners and to people is just distribution to 2.5 billion monthly active users on the platform. There's SEO enabled because YouTube Google owns YouTube. So if they search your name, which a lot of people should be if you're doing outreach and stuff, like, oh, who's this guy? Search your name, the YouTube channel comes up. So there's a lot of benefits from it. And the final thing would just be overall nurturing. So I think it's the hardest platform to get on, thus the place you want to be because there's less competition. So there's a lot of things I could talk about, but that's sort of how we break it down. It's just distribution for your offer to millions of potential people.
Oh, I see. Let's go. Okay, that's really cool. So just a live workshop here, right?
Yeah.
Let's take a random offer. Let's say something that's really been trending in the market. AI appointment setters. Let's make a random.
Yeah.
If you have a idea for a niche, go ahead. I'm trying to see if we can even take this small idea, make it into an offer, and then brainstorm some YouTube videos that we could potentially write with you.
I like it. So yeah, let's think of something outside of AI. So we could check another box for people. Let's go like really classic one, Facebook ad agency.
Facebook ad agency. Okay.
Meta buying people. A lot of you guys out there, shout out to you. Really valuable service. But how we go about that essentially is, all right, why are people buying ads? They need leads, they need appointments, they need business, they need leads. All right. So the way we go about that is we would sort of see the people you're targeting. So let's say you're media buying for construction companies. That's the offer. Let's just say whatever. All right. So these construction companies, they need leads. They don't just need leads, they need qualified leads. They don't just need qualified leads. They need these leads to turn into, whatever contracts for that business. So within there alone, there's content ideas. There's how to set up Facebook to bring you leads. There's how to qualify the leads from Meta ads. There's the best way to turn your ads into contracts. So, I mean, there's obviously those are not optimized titles. Those are ideas. Ideas are very different from titles. As you know, idea is one thing, title from the idea is another. But that's sort of how we break it down. We sort of go to the person, go to why they would pay you for that service, like the pain they're experiencing, flip those pain points into ideas into titles, title into a video.
Wow, that's a really cool way to frame it. Do you help also with the offer construction, maybe even editing it so it might resonate with their audience a bit better?
Yeah, so that's something we're exploring. So usually we work with companies that are semi-established, that it's a low barrier, but it's a barrier nonetheless, where it's like you have to have two solid case studies before we sort of help people in discovery. It's much harder on us to help someone who doesn't have an offer because it's like, all right, who are you approaching? Who are you selling to? But yeah, so right now you have to have like two solid case studies, like, Salman, you're changing crazy businesses, so it'd be easy to work with you because you have data on what you do and you have a very solid offer. But for people that have no offer, the way we sort of attack YouTube is as feedback mechanism. So I just had another conversation with someone here where you could use YouTube as like market feedback almost. So when I started my AI agency journey almost 2 years ago. I posted my first video in June 2023. Started just posting random stuff. I posted, AI for real estate, AI for contractors, AI in the health industry, AI for doctors and dentists. Just sort of spread seeds everywhere, and then I let YouTube sort of say, "Hey, this got more interest in this. I got more calls from that." So I sort of let me guide my actions going forth.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, and I also saw you actually took a really cool change, which kind of like and pivot, which
Pivot,
made
yeah.
sure you went from here to here in terms of just your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
How'd you kind of like decide on when to pivot and what to pivot to? It was very interesting because not many people do it, but it's the right move to do because it's what interests you, right?
Yeah, you nailed it. So background on me, I'm not technical. So like I understand the stuff. I understand the webhooks, the APIs, all the stuff, right? But by nature, I am more of a marketing sales guy. That just comes from me finding my avenue, I guess. Like I never have sales training or marketing training or like a degree. I have a biology degree out of all things, which is like completely unrelated. But from doing online business over the years, I just like sales and marketing. I think if a business doesn't have sales and marketing, there is no business. So that's sort of why I made the pivot into YouTube. And I really liked working with like creators and B2B agencies and people. Like the people we work with are not like these massive corporations. They're people sort of just like us that are posting content and just need help because they don't have the time or they don't have the expertise. So one, I liked it, which is a huge thing. It's like I want to work with people I enjoy working with because the more I care about this person, the better results I'm going to get for them. So that's the first thing. And two, we're pretty good at it. So I have probably one of the smallest channels out of everyone here, and I'm selling YouTube, so it's sort of funny. But we were able for our AI agency at one point, we were getting 25 to 40 booked calls a month for our AI agency services, and these people would be real estate, CCTV installation companies. We had one that was like a Chinese language academy. So that was not scalable, but I sort of stepped back. I was like, hey, we're sort of crushing on YouTube right here with a small audience at the time. So I took my AI knowledge that sort of built up over the years, automation knowledge, and then the YouTube knowledge, slapped them together and threw them into an offer. And then on top of that, I sort of like YouTube. I sort of like enjoying like documenting my journey, making videos. I think it's something I'm good at and something I like to do.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love the way you kind of like pivoted towards now you love what you kind of work and like to do.
Yeah.
That is something I feel like a lot of people don't factor in. It's like, hey, who do I like working with?
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yeah.
Because now there's been this big trend of, hey, AI is so cool. Run an AI automation agency, but that's not true. You need to provide value in that way, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of found your niche in that way.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of like how did you decide or were sure that was your niche? Was it like based off some results you got people and then you were like, oh, this is really cool, I like doing it? Or
yeah, so I get a few DMs about this sometimes, like what's the best niche to choose, what's this, what's that. First of all, I always preach familiarity. So if you have no niche or no skills or nothing, go with what you're most comfortable with. So if you have a degree in something, sort of look that way. I know I didn't do that, but I had previous like experience, which I'll talk about in a second. So if you have a degree in something, go that way. If your dad runs a mechanic shop, maybe go that way. I would think familiarity is really, really important because you just understand something general people won't. So like for example, like I have a biology degree. If you talk all about science, I might know more than the average person. Thus I could relate more, I could know pain points more, I could create better content, I could make a better solution to the problem. So familiarity is huge. If you don't have familiarity or like any like type of thing like that, what I did, I just worked with 5 clients and I sort of took a step back. Like who did I like working with? Who did pay me a lot of money? Who can I get results for? And I sort of went that way. So that's sort of my advice for niching down because you do, and like you have to like who you work with. You have to enjoy it. If you're texting all day with people that sort of aren't really cool and sort of like bother you, it's gonna be a drag on you mentally. Like if it doesn't manifest physically, eventually you're just gonna be tired and you're not gonna want to push further. Yeah. But me, like I'm really trying to find people that could help. So that's lead gen, and I'm really motivated to do so. So it just helps out.
And I've seen you helps people. You've gotten them some really, really cool results. I'd love if you can like cover how you've gotten people to, like more revenue and stuff.
Yeah. So the headline would be like the past quarter, like Q4, or maybe a little bit extended. So like end of Q3 to Q4, we did like 6 figures for our clients, like revenue attributed from YouTube. And the biggest win for us is most of these people have under 1,000 subscribers. So very small channels. Like I think I have a small channel, they're very small channels. But the way we do that, the sort of the framework we follow is one, consistency. If you don't post, literally nothing can happen. So we have to get you comfortable and familiar with posting, which is probably the most painful part of YouTube. Like it's hard to be consistent if you don't have the systems, you don't have people helping you out. So that's sort of like a really big pusher. Like with our offer, we give them like all the systems and AI and everything they need. And then on top of that, they get my coaching. So like if you're slowing down, if you're sort of not motivated, like I'm going to send you a voice note like, yo, come on, let's go. Because if you don't post, nothing happens. So the first stage is what we sort of call it painless posting. So it's very easy to just whip up the camera, film a video. That should be the goal after like month 1. Super, super easy to do. And then after that, we get more into strategy, top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel stuff, social proofing, this, that, and the other. But the first key point of YouTube or social media in general, you get to post. You have to post. So working backwards from that, you need systems, you need a team, you need automation. That's what people hire me for.
That's really cool. First of all, don't forget this. What he just said. 6 figures generated in only a couple months.
Yeah, about 4 months. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Thanks, man.
That's crazy. So, and now you're developing systems on top of that to make sure.
Yes.
What are these kind of systems?
Yeah, so we had a huge like scalability problem. I think that's the word. Scale problem. And essentially, we took a step back and said we wrote down the whole process. Like I'm a big process mapping guy, Miro, whatever you want to get. So I do the whole thing. Like, what are we doing internally that's working? Because it's working really well. So we did all that out. We sort of figured out like what our sauce is, and we packaged that up into a dashboard. So our clients now, when they work with us, they pay us, they get an onboarding call, and they get access to the personalized dashboard. On this dashboard is ideas, like pre-made ideas for them, like titles, content ideas, all that stuff. AI script generators, so they pick the idea they want to film, they hit generate script, the script is generated, they can go ahead and film. Once the video is filmed, they send it to our editors, they send it to our thumbnail team, and then they post it. So it's like very, very, it's like seamless, it's very streamlined, and I can go into their dashboard and I can say, hey man, let's film this video, let's get going. I go into that person's dashboard. So it just makes everything more scalable from both their point, like it's very streamlined for them. And from our point, I just open up my laptop, go to the dashboard place where I host everything, and it's just like 8 to 10. We have 7 active clients right now, so it's like 7 dashboards. Just check in on everyone, see how everything's going. So that's like the next step for us. Made it super, super easy because now it's like a scalable fulfillment. It's like done for you in some elements, and then you get consulting from me, so it's like done with you in some elements. So I think I found a model that like matches.
Yeah, that's a really cool model. I haven't seen anyone do this before.
Yeah, I've seen a few people online talk about it and stuff, but it's harder said than done because you have to have something that's working. And then you also, from a business point of view, you can't be involved too much. We were talking about it, absolute GOAT advice all the time, bro. Just never misses. He was talking about like I have to remove myself from fulfillment. So there's a balance to the consulting side of things. But yeah, it's working so far, and it's able to handle the people that we're signing.
Awesome. So you said when someone signs up, you're making them these kind of content. You're doing their content strategy.
Yeah, essentially.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's huge. Like there's so much know-how you need about YouTube, social media, titles, scripting, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you're packaging all that up into one dashboard that you can like automate and fulfill faster.
Essentially. Yeah. We're trying to make it as brainless as possible for them, because if you guys out there, you've gone through the early stages of ideation and stuff, it's like a pain in the ass. Because you have to sit down and it's like, all right, what do I do? You know, so we try to make it brainless where it's like, you open up the dashboard from the client's POV, you open it up, it's like, oh, Shaz uploaded all this and his team did all this. I trust him, boom, click generate script, start recording. So it's like very brainless process, on both ends. So that's the reason we did it, yeah.
That's so cool. So you made it a very frictionless process.
Frictionless is the better word. Exactly. Much better word. Yeah. That's exactly what we did. Yes.
Yeah, to create content. And everyone needs that.
Yeah,
right?
Everyone needs it. That's what, like, and if it was easy to post, everyone would post and I wouldn't be in business. But it's not easy to post. Like, it's not easy to post.
People are also scared. I think the accountability and like the
Yeah.
the consulting you kind of provide is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful because there's people that always have questions, and then there's people that need that push. Some of our best case studies that have been of people that are shy on camera, and then they sort of get on camera and they're like, oh, I sort of like this. Because at the very core of YouTube, it's like any other social media. YouTube is different than any other social media. On TikTok, Instagram, you might be trendy, you might have to crack some jokes. On YouTube, sit there and just talk about what you love, which is your business and what you know. So, I mean, when you break it down like that, it's like I can sort of talk about this shit for hours. Man.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all do. Like,
we've been doing it for the past week.
Yeah. Dude, like we came here and we had presentations, but before those presentations, we're like sort of like everyone's antsy, and we just talk business. So we sort of like knew the presentations before they happened in some regard. But yeah, it's just talking about what you know and just packaging it up in the right way where YouTube then pushes it to who you want it to be pushed to.
Just quick thing. Do you, from doing all of these different types of people, have you seen any like little hacks or content, some strategies that you can like implement fast and then it'll help you skyrocket really quickly?
Yeah, a little hack I would say is, once when you're taking sales calls and having a conversation with your target audience. So if we go back to that construction company example, you're running meta ads for construction companies. In that case, every time you have a sales call, every time you talk to a person or do an outreach message, take note of why these people are talking to you. Take note of what their problems are, because those are video ideas, right? So if they're struggling with hiring, if the contractor company is struggling with ads, like we mentioned, whatever it is, those pain points are very, very valuable because those are content ideas from the source, right? Where it's like a lot of stuff is speculation where it's like, oh, I think this video would do well. I think that would do well. It's like, no, listen to what these people are saying and then package it up into a video that solves that problem, right? And if it gets 50 views, cool. As long as it's 50 people that it's reaching that are solving that problem, you're gonna be okay on YouTube.
That's a really cool mentality to have. Even if you're just helping 50 people, that's 50 people more you'd have helped than 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And you're reaching them from your desk, your bedroom, wherever. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And I'd rather reach 50 people that would buy my stuff than 10,000 that wouldn't. So that's sort of another approach we take with these small channels that from the outside in probably look like, oh, this guy sucks at YouTube. Well, on the back end of stuff, the targeting is really good and people are booking in calls. So that's sort of the way we think about it. Views for us is not as big as a metric as leads. So that's sort of how we go about it.
So it's like the sniper approach.
A little bit. Yeah. We just try to concentrate the views, high quality views, HQVs, or what we call it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Shaz, thank you for sharing all that. This is such good information. I'm going to be applying some of this stuff as well. And yeah, if you have, I just want you to tell them lastly where they can find you and where they can find these kind of cool hacks as well.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I post pretty frequently on my channel. So Shaz, Shaz, Mathew, Mathew. I forgot to spell my name, but yeah, that's it on every platform. You can look me up there. I give pretty much stuff like this away all the time. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, man.
Yep. That's my own name.